20 years ago, China was nothing more than a quiet spectator in the global space race, an imitator, a follower, a nation seen as technologically inferior to the giants of NASA and Roscosmos. Back then, the idea of China leading the future of humanity beyond Earth was almost laughable. They were using outdated Soviet designs, second-hand American technology, and basic satellites that barely functioned. But something happened. Something shifted so drastically, so violently, that the entire world is now forced to admit a truth no one expected. China didn't just catch up. It leapfrogged every traditional space power and is now shaping the future of the cosmos. Today, China is not competing. China is building technologies that feel like scenes stolen from science fiction movies. And the real question we need to ask is, how did this transformation happen so fast? How did a country that struggled to put small payloads in orbit suddenly become the most feared and innovative force in space exploration? The answer is simple. China changed the rules. It didn't try to win the old game. It created a new one. And the technologies they're developing right now are so advanced, so disruptive, that many experts at NASA and SpaceX openly admit they're worried about what comes next. In this video, I'm going to show you the 8 most shocking, game-changing space technologies China is building right now. And trust me, when you hear number 1, you'll understand why the US government is sounding alarms and why the future of space might no longer be written in English, but in Mandarin. Let's begin with something that sounds impossible: China's space elevator. Imagine a structure so massive, so ambitious, that it challenges everything we thought we knew about engineering. A vertical highway from Earth to space. China is already developing carbon nanotube fibers stronger than any aerospace material ever created. These fibers form the backbone of a colossal orbital ribbon rising from an ocean platform and stretching thousands of kilometers into space. And here's the terrifying part. This system would allow China to send satellites, cargo, entire modules, and even humans into orbit without using rockets, effectively eliminating the cost of fuel and gaining total dominance over access to space. They are already building prototypes. They are already testing anchoring mechanisms. They are already simulating real orbital stress on these materials. Every step brings them closer to the first permanent vertical gateway between Earth and space. Whoever controls the elevator controls the sky. And China is frighteningly close. But that's just the beginning. China's Mars colonization program is not a dream. It's not a PR stunt. It's a government-backed, budget-approved, precisely scheduled operation. Their goal? Send humans to Mars in 2033 and build a permanent settlement by 2040. And unlike NASA, China is not planning to rely on short, expensive missions. They want a self-sustaining colony. Habitats will be built underground using Martian soil through 3D printing. Energy will come from compact nuclear reactors operating 24/7. Their life support system already recycles 98% of water, and they've successfully tested closed-loop greenhouses in orbit that can produce oxygen and food. The craziest part? They are integrating AI systems capable of making autonomous decisions during communication delays. That means the colony could operate independently, even if Earth goes silent. China isn't just racing to Mars. They are preparing to claim it. And if they build the first permanent base, they will redefine every international space law overnight. The battle for Mars won't be scientific. It will be political, strategic, and brutal. Now, let's talk about something that sounds like pure science fiction. Orbital solar power stations. China has already tested the world's first space-based solar power plant. A massive station that collects sunlight 24 hours a day with no clouds, no atmosphere, no interruptions. The energy is converted into high-frequency microwaves and beamed to Earth with over 80% efficiency, enough to power entire cities. Clean, constant, infinite energy. But here's the dark truth. The same system that beams clean power can also become a weapon. A focused microwave beam could disable electronics, melt infrastructure, or take down entire power grids. China insists it's peaceful. But even military analysts in the West are nervous. Their first operational station is planned for 2030. If they succeed, China will control not just space, but energy itself. Then we have the Long March 9th, China's fully reusable super-heavy rocket that makes even the legendary Saturn V look outdated. This beast can carry 140 tons to low Earth orbit and can be reused up to 50 times. It uses methane and liquid oxygen engines that can even be refueled in space, opening the door to deep space missions that would have been impossible before. With 24 engines generating over 6,000 tons of thrust, this rocket could launch an entire space station in a single mission. And China expects to fly it by 2030, years ahead of Western equivalents. What makes the West nervous is its classified military payload capacity. A rocket that powerful launching every week, could deploy global satellite networks or military assets at a speed no nation could compete with. Space dominance begins with launch power, and China is preparing for total superiority. Speaking of networks, China's Guowang satellite constellation is a direct attack on the Western communications monopoly. With nearly 13,000 satellites, it will be 3 times larger than Starlink. But unlike Starlink, Guowang is 100% government-controlled. That means every byte of data, every encrypted communication, every global signal is monitored by Beijing. This mega-constellation can provide ultra-fast internet, military-grade encrypted communications, real-time global tracking, and even navigation for hypersonic missiles. And because each satellite has autonomous propulsion, it can maneuver toward enemy satellites, or destroy them. Countries that adopt Guowang become dependent on China for their digital infrastructure. It's not a constellation, it's a geopolitical weapon. Now let's go to something more peaceful but just as terrifying, Tiangong, China's space station. While some nations struggle to keep the ISS alive, China built its own orbital city, completely independent. Over 180 tons of advanced modules, housing up to 6 astronauts permanently. A laboratory that recycles 95% of its water, generates its own oxygen, grows food in microgravity, and uses an integrated AI system to predict failures and optimize resources. Tiangong is not just a station, it's the foundation of a permanent civilization in orbit, and unlike the ISS, China can expand it indefinitely. More labs, more greenhouses, more habitation modules. They are building the blueprint for long-term human life in space. Then comes Chang'e 6, a mission that achieved what no nation ever could, landing on the far side of the moon, drilling 2 meters below the surface, collecting pristine samples, and bringing them safely back to Earth. This mission required relay satellites, autonomous navigation, and landing precision that even NASA admits is extremely difficult. The scary part? The samples confirmed high concentrations of helium-3, one of the most valuable materials for future nuclear fusion reactors. China isn't just exploring, they're mapping resources, and their next missions, Chang'e 7 and 8, will search for water and test lunar construction. Experts believe China may attempt to claim resource-rich lunar territory before 2030, and once they do, no one will be able to stop them. And now we reach number 1. The technology that genuinely terrifies every space agency in the world. China's advanced Hall-effect plasma thrusters. These engines don't burn chemical fuel. They ionize gas to create plasma and accelerate it at insane speeds. The result? A motor that can run continuously for over 50,000 hours, achieving velocities impossible for traditional rockets. With efficiency over 3,000 seconds, 10 times higher than chemical engines, these thrusters could take humans to Mars in just 30 days. They allow satellites to dodge tracking systems, change orbit at will, and stay operational for years without refueling. NASA openly admits that this engine makes missions to Jupiter and Saturn dramatically faster. China is at least 5 years ahead of everyone else, and the military implications are chilling. Satellites that can't be intercepted, tracked, or destroyed. This is China's new space arsenal: elevators to space, colonies on Mars, unlimited orbital energy, super heavy rockets, mega constellations, orbital cities, lunar resource extraction, and engines that rewrite the laws of space travel. Each technology is a step toward one undeniable future, a future where China may control the gateway to space. And if that happens, the balance of power on Earth will change forever. So now it's your turn. What do you think about this new technological arsenal? Do you believe China is destined to dominate the next era of space exploration? Let me know in the comments. And if this video blew your mind, make sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next.